This is the best lesson I've ever heard and learnt about building a high net worth. Don't worry about making millions. Instead, focus on the first $100,000 because from that point on, your net worth will go crazy. When I first heard this, I didn't fully understand what it meant, but today it makes perfect sense to me, and you will too by watching this video. So why are the first $100,000 the hardest to get? Well, there are two main reasons for this. The first reason is your earning power. Imagine this as your progress in a game. You simply haven't invested enough time in honing your skills and therefore face difficulties when competing with more experienced players. This also applies to financial achievement. Especially when you're still young, this challenge intensifies even more. A recent survey revealed that Generation Z, which is today's generation of young people, has approximately 86% less purchasing power than the baby boomers had at the same stage of life. This is partly because nowadays, older people stay in the labor market for longer, making it more difficult for young people to reach higher-paying positions. But don't be discouraged. The good news is that the internet offers an excellent opportunity for young people to earn more money than the previous generation, many of whom don't fully understand how to exploit the potential of social networks, let alone build an online business. When it comes to technology, there are few boomers who can keep up with you. So the field is wide open for you to explore and prosper. The second reason why the first $100,000 is the hardest is the absence of compound interest. Think of your money as a snowball that you roll downhill as you invest, and as it goes downhill, it accumulates more snow, which represents your compound interest. The bigger your snowball, the more snow it collects, and consequently, the more compound interest you earn. Sounds incredible, right? Well, yes and no. Let's understand it better. If you don't have at least $100,000, your snowball won't reach a size that generates a significant return. In practice, this means that you won't be able to take advantage of compound interest in a really significant way. Imagine investing $10,000 in a Bovespa index fund with an average annual return of 13%, which is historically what investors can expect. After 5 years, your money would have grown from $10,000 to $18,424. That's 5 whole years to earn $8,424. That's why it's so difficult to reach the first $100,000. And you started with an initial investment of $10,000. It all comes down to how much you can contribute to your investment portfolio rather than relying solely on compound interest. This means that you'll need to increase your income in the best possible way. I've been there myself. I remember balancing at least 2 activities simultaneously to ensure I had enough money, working long hours and resisting the temptation to spend it on holidays, clothes, or the latest mobile phones. Once you reach the first $100,000, it's considerably easier to make your money grow. So why do things get crazy after $100,000? The answer lies in the fact that compound interest stops being monotonous and becomes incredible. As Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Look at this graph. If you invest $10,000 a year or $833 a month with an average annual return of 13%, it will take you 6.5 years to go from $0 to $100,000, but to go from $100,000 to $200,000 will only take you 3 years and 6 months. So it will take 3 years less to make the second $100,000 compared to the first. That's 45% faster to make your second $100,000 than the first. And it gets even better if we expand it to go from $200,000 to $300,000. It will only take 2.5 years. Then, from $300,000 to $400,000, it will take 1 year and 9 months. And from $400,000 to $500,000. It's only 1 year. We could go on, but I think you get the idea. Look how crazy the graph starts to get. In a few years, you'll be earning $100,000 a month. But everything happens after the first $100,000. So getting your first $100,000 as quickly as possible is the key. So how do you make your first $100,000?